Hello and welcome to your mom's podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Avis.
I'm Caroline.
And today we're discussing Degrassi Season 3, Episodes 14 and 15, Accidents Will Happen, Parts 1 and 2. Roses are red. Manny doesn't need decongestant. Turns out she's feeling ill because Craig got her pregnant. Life has been hell for Manny lately. When Ellie and Ashley aren't harassing her in the hallways, everybody else is whispering about her boyfriend's stealing ways. At least she's got gymnastics to focus on. That is, until she realizes that her upset stomach isn't nerves or the bug that's flying around Degrassi, but rather a bun in the oven. With some help from Spike and some judgment from Emma, Manny navigates her way through making the difficult decision to terminate her pregnancy. Over in the B-plot, fake hacker Toby lands him and Jimmy in some hot water when he offers to change Jimmy's math grade. And Liberty gets a 5-finger discount on a whole lot of cringy behavior. Actually, though.
All right. So we want to hit these B-plots first?
These B-plots are equally as cringy.
These B-plots... So one thing, and I'm going to post a screenshot I took of her, but one thing is that the first B plot supports your fuck them kids theory.
Right?
Because the face that Fawn is making as she sends Toby and JT away, she knew what was happening.
She waited she was looking at JT with that book she knew he wasn't reading because they were colluding. It was obvious. And they thought that she wasn't paying attention, but Quan is over there scheming and waiting for the precise moment that she can do maximum damage. Hi, Pancake.
Hi, baby.
Are you back, young lady? I know you can't hear me. She's so sweet.
Hi, baby.
Oh, she wants to give love and kisses.
Okay, but can you just lie down a little bit? But no, Quan said fuck them kids. Let me wait until you could have fucked them only the most for me to catch them.
Yes. Actually, though. Listeners, right now Caroline is being love bombed by a beautiful, beautiful shade of brown doggo. This young lady is just so close to Caroline.
She's so incredibly close.
So if her audio sounds a little muffled, yes, she has. If you've ever had a dog or been, acquainted with a dog, you understand they don't take no for an answer when they want love. So if Caroline's audio sounds like she's talking around a dog, it's because she is. She's retreated.
For now.
She got her cuddles, her bumping, her licks in. She's good.
Oh, now she's looking out the window.
Aww.
There's nobody there. It's fine. They don't like it when people walk down the street. They say, no, this is our street. You go somewhere else. Yeah. But I'm glad that the text supports the hypothesis that just the assertion. It does.
Because literally
fuck these kids.
And the way that she is the villain. Quan is the real villain in this damn episode because she's a villain in the A plot too. We're going to talk about it. But my number one issue with the first B plot here is that Toby is just the worst. I think what does he say? He says DJ crazy guns, and Jimmy's like DJ bad bully.
No, it's DJ Mad
It's
Bullets.
DJ Mad Bullets, and he says DJ Bad Bullets at the end. And Jimmy's like, I'm just done. That was like the floodgate broke. And Jimmy was like,
Jimmy has
snap,
had
like, you're
enough
just
of
fake,
Toby's
man.
shit.
Like, but like, actually though, I think it's funny how he points it out, because we're all thinking this, like, because there was a previous episode where where Jimmy and Toby interacted, and it wasn't pleasant, since he and Ashley have broken up. And now Toby's finally asking, like, why am I not friends with Jimmy anymore? And JT is like, because he's not dating your hot ass stepsister anymore. Like, why is this such a big, like, question mark
Jimmy
to you?
is being, like, very mean to him, though.
He
like,
is, though. Like, they were never friends. He is being mean to Toby like they were never friends. So I definitely get why. But, like, for me, I would have done that critical thinking work to be like, maybe he's upset because of this. But at the end, but also the aggression is just because I don't know if Jimmy ever truly liked Toby. Maybe that's what it really is. Like, they were never really friends.
Right.
And which sucks. But like, also Toby's personality in the first season was very sweet and repressed. Like, he had his moments with JT where he would speak out and do things, but and towards Ashley, but ultimately towards people he wanted to impress, he was very like demure, and he was literally letting Jimmy shoot basketballs in front of him and like show him how to do jump shots. What dude who likes basketball wouldn't want to do that with a little kid? Like, like, their relationship was so different in season 1, and I think that it's funny to see like Toby a little older. He's got his growing pains. He's awkward now. He's not like the obvious like sizable height difference shorter than Jimmy anymore. They are now looking eye to eye, and Jimmy's older, less awkward. And it's definitely like, yeah, I don't need to be your friend. Like, we're good. Like, I'm good on you. It's definitely, I think it's Jimmy's ego kind of rising like a phoenix. Like, it's like he's peaking on the ego train, because it just seems that's what it's giving to me. Like, the extra meanness is like a swagger. Like, I don't need to hang out with this kid anymore. Like, I'm not dating his sister. I don't need to hang out with his geeky ass. Which sucks for Toby, but I actually really do think that's just what it boils down to. Jimmy is just like, we are not on that level anymore. But he gives him a chance. And Toby fumbles the ball,
He does.
Did you rewind the part where his finger was pressing the 8?
No.
Did you rewind? Because his finger was so self-assured until he started like twitching at the He's saying, oh, it's sticky. Like, I've got to work with this computer because it's not that fast. And then he presses the 8 very intentionally multiple times. And it's not like a twitch. It's like a Morse code. Dit, dit, dit. It's pretty quick. Yeah. I just feel bad for JT in this situation. Actually, the rare occasion that I feel bad for JT, because JT was just trying to have a good time and go to a DJ Mad Bullets concert, and instead he got this roped into Toby's bullshit. It's okay, Pancake, if you want to be our co-host today. It's okay, Pancake.
I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal for the audio. I mean, your green is not going off, so if it's a little bit in the background, I don't think I care that much. It's not a big deal.
Can we talk about Toby's piece?
We can, and we can also like really look at him hard and be like, why did you feel the need to do that?
Right.
I have so many Jimmy's reaction. Okay.
Jimmy's reaction was
I love him.
Perfect.
I love him in this episode because he's so relatable. He's just like, because Toby is channeling the weird energy he had in Whisper to a Scream with the Clarice. He is on a similar but completely like other plane. in this episode. But it's just like, why are you so cringy? Why do you have to do this?
Oh, because they hate Toby.
They want to
Apparently,
destroy his fucking character.
according to a comment in the group,
Ooh.
in our group, we are Your Mom's podcast group from Avis.
Nice. Okay.
He says Therese. Which makes more sense because it's her name.
It does make more sense because Therese. That's funny. Yes, it does make more sense to say Therese.
It's still weird.
It's still weird,
it's still really fucking
but that's
weird.
A little bit more clever. It's also, I don't know if it helps with the cringe factor though.
No, nothing helps with the cringe factor, honestly.
I don't think anything can save that whispered to a scream B plot. I don't think anything can save that.
It was the best they saved.
But thank you, Iggy. I think that's important because, like, I think I've watched Silence of the Lambs way too much. I just love, I love Jodie Foster at any age, but I think I have such like a Silence of the Lambs crush on Jodie Foster because I love Panic Room too with the little baby Kristen Stewart. But to have like the hair that she had in Silence of the Lambs, iconic. The accent was doing something for me. I don't know. But maybe that's why I was just like, my brain refused to hear anything other than Clarice. But Faris makes sense. But
should
what the fuck, Toby?
Jump on over to the second B plot?
Yeah, I think the only thing that's important to note about this B plot is that Jimmy and Toby are going to be in the very special Raditch Saturday special the detention.
Way too aroused by this Saturday.
He's like, you can join my special Saturday detention. Like, he has been recruiting members for this shit. But actually, I love it because, not to do too much on this B plot, because I love the next episode, but I always had this little bit of a headcanon that Vernon from The Breakfast Club also kind of had this fetish for his Saturday detentions, and he recruited members for it. Like, he was looking for kids to bring into his Saturday detention. So I think it's funny to see the kind of like the similar likes. I think someone a writer in Degrassi was like, yeah, we can put a little bit of a seed in there to say, yeah, this guy is way too excited to tell these kids they have a Saturday detention. But yeah, Toby and Jimmy will be in Raditch's special Saturday detention. And if you know, you know, the next episode's going to be, it's setting up the next episode very nicely. But we also got to set up in the previous episode. So they're just doing it. They just want us to know who's going to be in detention. And yeah, I think that's probably the most important part of this B plot. But let's scooch on over to the main attraction. Oh, right. We do. Okay. This one is not as satisfying to me.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this one's got some good zingers. I
think the zinger level is higher.
Is iconic.
It is. And
I don't know. We have
more towers, but also less towers at the same time. Yeah, we have more
less towers. I love when he's got a smart girl thing. He liked the way you said Venerate.
And yeah, it was like somethingly. I didn't take down the first word. But and
I do love like Sean being like, hey, I'm not into you. I shouldn't have been a dick about it.
Right.
I know someone who is.
It gives me season 2 Sean Cameron vibes, which I really needed from him, because he's turned into such a fucking Eminem wannabe, and it's really
Sean
like
Shady.
Sean Shady. Thank you, Sean Shady. What is he wearing? in this
Nothing
whole
good.
fucking episode. He looks like he's on the way to the beach, but also like on the way to like some alley. But he is good for introducing Towers and Liberty. I will give it that. But I like them together. I like Liberty and Sean together because it showcases how smart Sean is and how much he does
Mm-hmm.
enjoy learning. And I really appreciate that because I think that he is supposed to just we're supposed to forget that he was ever like because he was held back a grade and things like that, not even for academic reasons, but he was held back a grade, and now we're supposed to think
Right.
he's dumb. He's hanging around with these kids who are smashing up vending machines, so we're supposed to think he's an idiot. And I love that the show is like, no, oh wow, they started importing Japanese cars in the 50s. That's cool. Like, he's genuinely interested in certain things. Like, he likes cars, he likes learning things about cars, and I think that that's a sweet thing that the text offers us about him in this B plot, because we're not getting good things when we're seeing him from Emma's point of view, which is really all we've seen him from. So, um,
Right.
but Liberty's like, ooh,
Yeah,
you're
no,
being nice to
Liberty's
you're being nice to me, like, oh my
and
gosh.
I feel like we're so wrong with Towers. He's
We
so adorable,
that
like
is one of my
throughout.
that is one of my notes, Caroline, that this is his actor. I actually want to like look up his actor's name because I don't know it. Uh Travis Donegan. I think that's how Dungan. So Donegan. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Most
So
likely.
Travis's face acting in this scene, he was giving nothing. After Sean says, "I will never be interested in you," and his little quippy, "You're about as edgy as a butter knife," the iconic line, and Jay is like, does what it says, whatever throwaway line Jay says. Um, and then Towers has to look thoughtfully and be like, maybe I do like this girl,
Right.
and do all of that. And it's like, you could have given him a line.
Well, and I was thinking about that, right? Because the Degrassi lore is that he was fired because he was always late. Maybe he would have
Ah,
shown up on time if he had anything to fucking do.
literally, maybe if it was like not an utter fucking practice and being a token, he would have showed up as scheduled and done a damn, because he did a damn good job even late. Like, let's be clear, he did a damn good job even late. The things they gave him to work with were scraps.
Yeah.
It's the worst of the worst. It's worse than they give Hazel. At least Hazel gets to fucking talk
She got a whole storyline.
occasionally.
She
She
sucked in
got a
that storyline, but
whole
she got a whole
storyline wherein
storyline.
she really stunk up the place, but she was given that nonetheless. She was given an opportunity to actually speak. Whereas Towers, we have not heard a word from this man. We get his feelings through Sean.
Right.
Literally being spoken by Sean. We're looking at the actor.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Sean just say, somebody else does like you, and then
Walk
turn
out of
to
the
the
room.
door? Yeah, and turn to the door, pan to the door, do a dolly zoom on this guy, because y'all love a dolly zoom. Sean walks past him, and then he comes in and he's like, I like the way you said verily, whatever the fuck she said, and have the same scene with the actor saying his feelings. That's an
Right.
easy way to get this guy to be able to talk.
Yeah.
Pancake
No, it
Pancake needs
was
a security,
I know.
emotional
Hold on. Let me see if
security.
I can encourage her to come over here. You bam.
Okay.
She wants attention. That she wants to sit where she's sitting.
Fair.
And like I get that. But
Yes.
baby girl, you gotta come to me. Or we can't.
You got to
I
work
love
with
you
me
so
here.
much. Um Okay, and I feel like that covers the
Justice
B
for
plots.
Towers,
Justice
I
for
think
Towers.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from that B plot, because literally all we know now is Liberty and Towers are going to most likely have relationship. They have a blossoming relationship but we also need to talk about the way that they had him stand in in the glass and like rubbing his hands like Birdman.
Yeah,
Are you
it's so weird.
It's so bad. And he's like licking his lips and everything like he sees something to eat. And I'm like, not good direction. Because I know he was directed to act that way.
Right. It's weird and like predatory.
It's
and
weird and
ages
predatory.
him.
It ages him greatly, and he's literally supposed to be a grade above her.
Right. So, and I mean, maybe he got held back too. So maybe he's 2 grades above her.
Yeah,
but
there's
still.
there's not no child left behind in Canada. They can leave you back. No Child Left
Some
Behind is
children get
arguably
left behind,
shitty.
Not even arguably.
Right, and arguably it is pretty fucking shitty. But yeah, no, I think the cap on the Pancake, young lady,
baby girl. I'm so sorry to our listeners.
I feel like if anybody has a dog, sometimes they just feel things so deeply.
I don't know what and then sometimes needs. Like all of her needs are met.
Sometimes they snore like they were just working in the coal mines,
right,
from 8 to 8. That's how my dog snores. Like she holds a full-time job, working hard labor. Yeah.
This A plot was a really important one to me. I didn't know it existed for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't play it in the
we
States.
Didn't know, right? Yeah.
And so when I found it was actually like within a couple of months after I had my abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I remember this one and being like, oh, yeah. Okay, well Manny had an abortion, so
it helped. It made you feel like, okay, I feel seen. This isn't a taboo thing. But like I appreciate that though. I think that because the Degrassi Classic series had a similar episode, and it was similarly banned in the US in particular. Because over here, I guess we just, obviously abortion is a thing that we just can't agree on as a fucking country. But it's definitely something that the first time I watched it was greatly after this season. I had watched this season. So they they just really cut it out of the zeitgeist, which really sucked because I think that I knew personally, girls who were pregnant and who didn't realize they had other choices and who didn't, pursue those other choices for reasons of like either lack of knowledge, lack of resources, etc., which is devastating because what if they were informed and had a choice?
Right.
And I think that this episode really does go through the emotional journey of like, I'm not ready for this. And I'm not a bad person because I'm not ready for this.
Right.
She's 14. No, like the fact that she 14. Says she's 14. And like, I can't, like, personally, and I did not have sex until I was almost 19. And that wasn't because of any moral high ground. It was literally because I was so not thinking about anything to do with my body until I was around that age. And I was like, okay, I would like to do this for myself. Like, it wouldn't have been for myself. It would have been for different reasons before then. Right. But I definitely had friends who were very sexually active and I knew about it, like I did. But to like even hear that sentence at 14, I think the majority of my friends were not 14 when they started having sex.
I love Paige in this episode. She shines yet again.
Paige is iconic in this episode. I love the way that she talks to Manny. I love that I love that she holds the like two, it's happened twice, which isn't like a lot, but like I love that it happened twice that she holds bathroom like community therapy. Like I don't even know what to call it, like consultation. Like she literally, educated Emma about the fact that sometimes your period comes. It doesn't mean you're not still in
A
some version of
kid.
adolescence, and right, like you can
Right.
still take your time growing up. And then having to like talk to Manny about, oh, did you feel the did you feel the condom? Did you hear him put it on? Like those questions are, I love Paige so much in this episode, because the way that she like switches from being like, are you serious, to being like, you are serious, okay. Like she is very, it's like big sister energy. I love it. I
Well,
love like
and
the snark, and then she's like, okay, I actually need to help you out. Damn. Wow.
one of the things that I thought about when I was watching it was, okay, so stealthing was not a thing we were talking about back then. To be
Cool.
clear, stealthing
Yeah.
is not what Craig did.
No,
Craig
it's
is
not.
guilty of stupidity. Craig is guilty of really poor communication. But I don't think, like, other than those things, like, Craig didn't do something wrong in not wearing a condom, other than the normal did something wrong in not wearing a condom. No glove, no love, guys.
Literally.
Did you watch
Literally.
She's Too Young?
Did you watch
Um,
She's Too Young? If you didn't, you should, on our Patreon.
but I
However,
think
no, but actually though, like the poor communication between Manny and Craig is astounding. And I think that that's what the episode also wants to talk about, is like, if you are not old enough or mature, not even old enough, if you're not mature enough to discuss sex blatantly for your own safety, you should not be doing it. And Paige
right.
says a version of that. She says, before you get naked, make sure, you know, that
Ask
you, this is,
questions first, get naked
right, get
later.
naked
Yeah.
later. Yes.
Well,
Like
but
she's,
so John knock though, but yes, the poor communication. So I don't think that Craig did anything wrong in not wearing it. Okay, I think it was wrong not to wear a condom, but I don't think it was like stuffing levels of wrong.
it wasn't stealthing, it was miscommunication.
And yet,
Yeah.
I feel like Manny had to feel so violated by
Yes.
that.
She and her
And I feel
reaction.
like
Yes.
Paige picked up on that.
Yes. And that's
And
why
just
she
like I
treated her
loved.
so, and I mean, that's why
Mhm.
I think the whole situation, um, kind of just, Paige's empathy is always very high. I think she has always had the ability to kind of talk to people and be like, okay, I see you where you're at. But I also think that the way Manny is like reacting to the situation definitely indicates to me that she's been violated in some way.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Paige is picking up on her like realization of that, and that's part of why she's talking to her this way. And I don't think that's all of why, but I do think that plays a role, because she's picking up on that.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense.
It definitely feels like it's a very tender moment between these two people who have obviously had their moments. You know, they haven't even hit peak frenemy status, obviously, but they've
Right.
had their moments where they've just not been the kindest to each other. And I think that the fact that Paige is still able to have these moments with people that she is not personally friends with or even really pleasant with all the time is really indicative of her maturity. And
Right.
because like that's, Manny would have never thought to think about hearing a condom being opened or feeling it. Like that was her first time, and just her reaction to saying, like, to Craig's interpretation of,
Her
it's
saying it was
okay.
okay.
Yeah, she's like, I meant that it was okay, like it was my first time, you know, like it's so earnest. And I love Cassie's like acting in this entire,
Oh,
the
she's
two-parter is
great.
phenomenal. And she's up, she's down, and when she runs from the school to Spike to, like, you know, tell
That
her,
was a
Spike, I'm
thing
pregnant.
that I noticed was Manny ages so much in this episode.
Yeah, she does. When
Like,
she goes to count, can we talk about that?
oh my
When
God.
she goes to count her period, I'm just like, it takes me. I used to track my period with little flower, um, stickers on my wall calendar. Um, and my
Her
wall calendar,
calendar
when I
was
first got my
adorable.
period, was, yeah, it was so cute, like a little printout, and she had all her little gel pen, colored pens, and making her different notes. And Oh, I was just like, oh, period apps, I take them for granted. Because
No,
it'll
they're
just be like,
great.
hey, your fertile window's going to start here. Your period might start in the next 7 days. It's like, bitch, I forgot that thing existed. Thank
You
you for
really
reminding
do
me.
forget every fucking month.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd.
It's like, it's
And that
time
was
already? Wow.
a royal you, not a you. Like we all
No, right.
do.
It's, we all do.
Like,
No,
oh,
literally.
why am I bloated and cranky? Why do
Like,
I
oh,
want to eat
yeah.
everything? Why
Oh,
am I
yeah.
crying?
Oh, yeah.
Boom,
Yeah.
period.
Period drops. Yeah.
Um,
No, it's and she finds out to like look, well, not finds out, but she realizes a similar sentiment, like, oh, we forget it exists because our life is just fine without our periods. Like, if we could exist without our periods and like without any, like, birth control or anything, I don't think any woman
okay.
would really question it. um so she's like, at because okay, the overarching thing in this episode is Manny is really, hinging on her gymnastics meet. She wants to bring home a golden beam, and she just did a great beam practice. But Hazel needs a tampon, and Emma's out. So guess who has tampons? It's Manny, because she hasn't had her period in a month of Sundays. So it's actually really hilarious to me that
That
um
Hazel bursts into. She's hilarious.
the Hazel's like, ugh, it's bloody down here. Who's got a tampon?
She's like,
50
50
bucks.
bucks to whoever can give me a tampon right now. Did you
Yeah.
not see that front forward hand walk gymnastic move was straight
Mm.
out of a horror film?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, and then, she's used as a plot device once again to bring up the period question.
Why? 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 Would you ask that question in the bathroom when you just watched Hazel walk into a stall? Emma Nelson, did you learn nothing from rumors and reputations?
She didn't. Emma learned zero, zip,
She learned
zilch.
shit.
Because that is not my only problem with her in this episode, obviously, but like I do like the way they portray their relationship of like, okay, the feminine thaw of, if you've ever had a relationship with another woman, you know that they're intense, they're emotional, but they're fulfilling. But if you have an argument, a disagreement, and there's a standoff and there's that emotional freeze out, there needs to be something to thaw that. And I think that they, do a good job at like using the gymnastics as a way to get Emma to compliment Manny, which is her way of waving the white flag, and
Mm-hmm.
Manny to engage with that compliment and then give her a compliment back. And it's the feminine thaw in like practice. It's like, okay, now we are on level playing field and we can begin again, type of thing.
Right.
And we can start talking about more emotional matters.
It was interesting to watch this episode this time. Emma still, like, ultimately Emma really pisses me off in this episode, and we'll get to that.
Yes, she does. She's so bad in this episode. Like the first part,
but she notices
not
that her friend is struggling.
She does.
Or
yes.
her ex-friend is struggling.
Her ex-friend,
and she
right.
cares. And
right.
she I like Emma in the first half of this episode. The second half.
Oh, right. The second half is where she takes a shit in in the bed.
Well, and it's like, and honestly, I can empathize with it, right? Because her mom got pregnant at 14 and could have aborted her and didn't. And I think it's a fairly
I don't even know if her mom was 14. I think she was younger than that.
Damn.
Yeah, I think because she was in junior high.
I think
she wasn't even in high
feel
school
like
yet.
it's a fairly common thing, especially when you're younger, for people who like were adopted or were born to young parents, that like, because it's so easy to say like, oh, I could have been aborted.
Yeah.
That it can be really easy to take abortion as a whole very personally.
I agree with that. And I think that I kind of think that's what we're supposed to take from her feelings. especially because of what she says. I think it's fair to bring this up in this line of conversation about her ending sentiment, because it always stood out to me
It makes
of
me
her
so mad.
saying, well, if she was just some stranger on the street, I'd be furious, but she's my friend.
Right.
And
No,
it's
that's
her
never,
choice.
it's never sat right with me too, right? Because, like,
Never.
okay,
That's not a
so
qualifier you can make and
I
walk away
don't
with it for
believe
me.
this, but assuming Emma believes that abortion is murder,
Mm-hmm.
why are you going to be more mad at a stranger you don't know, quote unquote, murdering a quote unquote baby that you
Right.
never would have known than you
Mm-hmm.
are with your best friend, quote unquote, murdering a quote unquote baby who, like, you would have been heavily involved with? It does.
Yeah.
It make sense, Emma.
Make it make sense, Emma. Like, are you saying because she's your friend, you can empathize with her more and that you don't empathize with strangers? Because I would find that hard to believe for someone who's talking about squeegee kids and how do they feel being called squeegee kids and things that she's upheld as a character prior to
Right.
this, that
It's
makes
a
me think
weird
that you
choice.
care about other people's feelings that you don't know. So why? Make it make sense.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it.
It's it's telling of how I think she just kind of makes it up as she goes along because she's a kid. And I mean, that's fine, but ultimately, Manny is made worse in this journey by her judgment. And I mean, of course, you could argue that Emma feeling like, okay, I need to say something because we're friends and have this dialogue, and I kind of need to challenge that you're not making this for the wrong choices or the wrong reasons or whatever. I still think it's unfair of Emma to judge her as harshly as she judged her.
Right.
But I do agree that having such a close um, relation to this subject makes Emma's point of view very skewed in the
Well,
direction
and
of,
that's the
you
thing is,
know,
like, I don't blame Emma for being anti-abortion. I don't even necessarily blame Emma for, like, being shitty when
yeah,
Manny first tells her. Like,
right.
all of that feels very, like, I understand where it's coming from, but I
Mm-hmm.
blame Manny, or I blame Emma for her stupid, like, if she were some stranger, I'd be furious with her. That may be,
I
like, my
blame her for
most hated line
hated
in all of
in all of
Degrassi.
Degrassi. Yep.
Like, it might be.
I actually think it is too. Wait, I think that's the episode to most hate my most hated line in all of Degrassi, because I feel that with like this, that is really like what I remember about this episode. Though I've watched it many times, is just like the judgment. Like, what are you talking? Like, you're saying
Right.
what? Like, if she was some stranger, I'd be furious, but she's my friend and it's her choice. Okay, cut everything out except for it's her choice. Cuz
Right.
that's all you should have said.
Right.
You should
You
have
could
just
even
yelled at
say
Craig
she's
and
my
said,
friend and it's
"She's
her
my friend
choice.
and it's her choice."
Y'all
But
have
to
been
me
on the
that's still a
outs. No.
qualifier,
Because
but
for
yes.
me, what I see that as
I'm
is y'all have
standing
been on
up
the
for,
outs.
yeah.
You're saying, like, you're not telling Craig that Manny's your friend. You're telling Manny that Manny's your friend in that moment.
Fair.
So I would
Fair.
allow that. I would give Emma the benefit of the doubt there. But if she would be, oh, it makes me so mad. Fuck
It
yourself, Emma.
does. Right? Like,
Have we
what the
ever mentioned that this is an Emma Nelson slander podcast?
I think we mentioned it once or twice.
Okay. To any new
It's
listeners, this is an Emma Nelson slander podcast.
yeah. And it's just like she really peaks in her horribleness in this episode, because it's so hard to just watch her be so self-righteous and telling Manny, oh, she's like, I can't go to school and be huge and blah blah blah. Like, when she's saying, oh, there's adoption agencies with awesome counselors. How do you know?
Right.
Literally, how do you know? And to say that she can get through all of the pregnancy and people talking shit about her and this and that, could you get through that?
Right. No, it's
Like, you're
very
putting yourself in her shoes without actually putting yourself in her shoes to say, oh, you're fine. I'm dismissing your concerns about this
right.
whole thing. It's just a
Right.
life. It's just a life that you have to bring into this world and then part ways with as soon as you bring this child into the world. How
Mm,
is that? And not to say that adoption is not virtuous and necessary for some people and an option. I'm just saying for Manny and for a lot of people, people will definitely start out and saying, oh, okay, I'm adopting out this child, and then have the child and make a different choice because it's such an emotional journey to carry a child and have the child.
right.
And I think it's hard to, it's you're telling a 14-year-old girl who just had her first time a couple of months ago and is clearly very emotionally like she's emotional as fuck right now. You're expecting her to be able to part ways with this child after carrying this child, and she has Craig up her ass like an enema. You think she's gonna be able to do that?
Right.
Like, she's gonna, if Craig pampers her as a pregnant woman for the better of 10 months, do you really think that she's gonna be able to do that?
Right.
Like, you see that you literally called them parents in training. Why do you think that Craig is going to go along with that?
Right. Right. And it's a lot hard. Like, no,
With when
it's
you don't have the dad's permission, you
well,
can't just.
and this is why what to do with a pregnancy is a personal
It's a
choice.
personal choice because
And
there's
I think
multiple factors.
and I think
Everybody's
certainly
different.
like, if I got pregnant right now, it's not like I would just like make the decision without even consulting Forrest.
Mm-hmm.
But like I wouldn't it would ultimately be my choice.
Right.
It would be, hey, I'm pregnant, and honestly, probably that's the only way that I'm probably gonna ever have a baby. Like, if I'm gonna birth a child, it's gonna be because I accidentally get pregnant. Because like I am pro-choice. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
choice I would make again. Um,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be the right choice for me at this point in my
Right.
life. But
Right.
like also I didn't know that until it happens. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to give birth to a baby.
Right.
It all sounds terribly unpleasant to me.
As someone who wants to birth a baby, it all sounds terribly unpleasant to me, and I'm really
Yeah.
worried about it.
Yeah,
I have so
it's
much
not even the
concern.
birth. It's not even the
The
birthing, it's
price.
the pregnancy.
Pregnancy
And
can
you can't
truly
even
take you the
smoke
fuck
crack
out.
about it.
No,
Like,
you can't smoke anything, it's from what I'm told.
it's
Not
horseshit.
smoked salmon, none of that shit. No, nothing smoked.
No.
And I mean, like, the birth, like, as a black woman in America, the birth fatality is the risk of me dying in childbirth is greatly higher. So that
Well, if you
fucking
do that,
sucks.
baby better survive because it's going to have a podcast to co host.
You will inherit a podcast, son or daughter. Yeah, no, literally. It's definitely like a personal squeaky toy choice.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Like, doggies love their squeaks.
She really does. She's just like, how can I be a fucking problem today? But I love her so much. Um, no, birth
I,
to Daisy sounds hard, and don't die doing it because I don't want to have a podcast with a baby. I'll be like, so
that would
baby
be.
Avis, what did you think of this week's episode? And it was like, and like, that's not good content.
That's not good content. I
How am I
know.
gonna fucking edit that?
We'd
I
have
have to take over the edits.
you'd have to switch to video so that you could at least show my useless child in their in their bassinet drooling. No, it's just definitely like a thing that you can't make any guilt anybody into, and the fact that just happens so often really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Um and I'm glad Manny didn't allow herself to be guilted into having a fucking human life come out of her. Uh
Can we talk about? I feel like the more that I'm watching, the more I believe that they had Craig's mental health shit planned out from the
Oh,
get-go.
yes. Thank you. No, actually, yes. That's how I felt during this too. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, Craig is about to have another peak in an episode. He's about to have continuing mental health issues, and I think they laid the breadcrumbs here. Like him saying, "I just stay at some guy's house," so disheartening. I feel
Right.
so bad for Joey. Why is Joey just going about his day and receiving these random ass shots to the heart? Like he's damn, that
I
hurt. I
don't know.
wonder.
I don't.
Like it sucks the way that
It's
he
not that
says
he
that.
doesn't love Joey. It's not. It's that he. I think it's that he knows that Joey has no obligation to him. That can go away at any time. And even
Yes.
when what you know of Joey is that Joey's not going to take that away from you, it can still go away at any time.
Right.
And that's hard and that's scary. And I think it's about like, Craig is a fucking orphan.
Yeah.
He's got a sister and his sister's dad who has no obligation to him, who loves him,
Mhm.
and who I think he
Mhm.
believes loves him, but also like, again, there's no obligation. And when there's no obligation, it can get pulled out from under you. Not that your real
Yes.
parents can't just say like fuck you, but
Mhm.
and so
But
for
it's yeah, a lot
it's
less
not that
likely
Joey's not
in
good enough
Craig's
or
eyes, I guess.
anything. It's just
This is how Craig
that
feels. And I
Craig is
mean
a
it's
man without a
valid.
family and this is a family.
And I mean that's valid. I definitely see the validity in how he feels, but I also feel like it just is so hard to hear. I think it definitely, but it has to bring in that, the person who has a child for the reason of wanting to create their own family so that they have that because they never had that. And that's definitely something that I don't understand, but I think is
Mm-hmm.
very, it's obviously something very difficult to imagine because Craig's entire story is very sad. And you don't blame him for having this sort of take on it. Like I
Right.
definitely don't think it's odd, but I do think that it is laying the seeds for us understanding that he is just not altogether well um,
Right.
at this point. Like we have to come to expect that there are going to be, like Spinner says, like Spinner has the rational thought process about it, not like being like a typical teenage guy. Like he's actually said, like there are things you can do. It's not just, I think Spinner having that conversation with Craig instead of being like, dude, like just take care of it, and like an old school, like a very reductive take. He actually seems to have a mature thought process about it
Mm-hmm.
instead of just thinking about a child as a magical fairy that is dropped down by the stork and fixes all of our problems.
Right.
Like the way they talk about Jack, like he is like and I know he's gorgeous. Like all babies are gorgeous, but babies are little souls. They're little
Mm-hmm.
people, and they're not babies for very long.
Right.
Um,
They're whole humans, and
and
you should not be creating a whole human to fill some void in your life.
go off actually though, but and I mean there are multiple reasons why people have babies, um, and I mean despite the reasoning, I feel like as long as you are not doing it for like harmful reasons to like hurt someone or to get back at someone, or I even think borderline to like save a relationship can be manipulative, be
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
the
I'm gonna,
worst
like
reason to
it's,
have a
oh,
baby.
it's the worst, but like to be like, I think there's a manipulative nature to be like, okay, I can make this person stay with me, like I can
Mm-hmm.
trap this person if I have their
Just
child, or
fake
if
a
I get them
pregnancy and
pregnant.
change your behavior for a couple of months. Like, oh, you're talking
Oh,
about it from the male perspective.
both perspectives.
Well, because from a
I'm done.
female perspective, it's easy enough because men don't understand our bodies. So just like fake it for a couple of months, change your behavior, suck them back in, suck a lot of dick during that time, and then be like,
Mm-mm-mm.
oh, I had a miscarriage, super bummer. And then they're going to want to, they'll help you grieve that. And then boom, you've got them locked back in and you don't have to ruin your body.
You heard it first here, guys. Caroline's
Don't do that. Don't do any
several
of
step
that.
process to revitalizing your relationship. Yeah,
Without
please
bringing a
don't do that.
defenseless human into the world. I mean, if you are going to use a pregnancy to manipulate somebody, better a fake pregnancy than a real
Then a
pregnancy.
real wait, do we I really totally don't want to drop this fucking soundbite, but I think we already have it in Drive of fucking Anya saying I had a miscarriage.
Super
Super
bummer.
bummer. Because that's the same energy that you were trying to tell our listeners is and I mean, morally, it's 100% better to fake a pregnancy than to get pregnant for underhanded reasons. However, both are not good.
Yeah, don't do either.
Don't do either of those things. But yeah, um it's just like it's definitely sad to think about Craig's stake in this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely in it for all the wrong reasons, but also in it for reasons that I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame him for. But I'm great. I'm so happy that I just don't think it would have been a good storyline to carry out with them being pregnant. I
No,
don't
I
think
think
that it
that
would
would
have been a
have been,
good.
it would not. I mean, it probably would have been interesting. Although probably
It would
not.
have been.
Probably Manny's parents would have just sent her to a convent.
I, and that would have been the most believable part of it.
Right.
Because I think if they made it sort of any sort of other thing, even letting her be pregnant and then forcing her to give up the baby, I don't think would have been realistic because they wouldn't have wanted people to see her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would have been a completely different show if they had decided to go through with this storyline.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it makes sense. And it was the best decision for everybody.
For everybody, but most specifically, Manny. It was
Mm-hmm.
Manny's decision. She had her mother's support. Her mother asks, is she going to be hurt? Is she going to be okay?
Yeah, her mom actually really kind of comes through.
She does, which Spike says, like, my mom surprised me. She
Mm-hmm.
was very, like, supportive. And I remember the scene where Spike tells her mom they're in a car sitting in a parking lot that she's pregnant, and she says she thinks she might be, and then they go take the test and she is pregnant. Um and it's a not a similar scene, but because they talk way more in depth, but the energy of like what are you going to do?
Right.
Like what are we doing here is prevalent in both interactions with the moms, which I appreciate because it's not, oh, well, I'm angry. What I have expectations on what you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. It's
Right.
like, I'm shocked, but where's your head at? What are you thinking?
Right. I also, I lost it.
It flew away like a baby bird.
It's unrelated, but much like ice skate, like figure skating, gymnastics, like
It's so niche, and you can't
you
just
would
like
hear about it,
randomly fucking
and
do
it's
it.
well, no, it's not surprising. Like we've seen her do gymnastics, not in
Mm-hmm.
the little
She's
unitard,
done.
but like, and it makes
Right. She can do
sense.
cartwheels and other things in cheerleading. Yeah.
Like cheerleader, gymnastics, figure skater, all like
Oh,
vibe
right. They're
together, but
over. Right.
also that's where do you have the time
Where do you have the
to
time?
do
How are you
three of these very demanding sports?
demanding? And they all like, it's not like you can say, oh, people only ice skate in the winter competitively. It's not like you can say people only compete. And I mean, there are like when you're doing gymnastics, there are meets all the time. When you are skating, there are meets and there's practices all the time. Even if you're not competing, you have to train. And and then she's also supposed to be a cheerleader, so it's like, I just think it's a lot. Degrassi writers, we could have just had her, but then they, of course they wanted to find a way to get Manny and Emma in the same activity. Right. And it's only, like, Emma hates cheerleading. She would never do cheerleading. And Emma's not shown to do figure skating. And it's not the right season for that. So what do? Gymnastics. Boom. Makes sense, because Emma wouldn't be on a dance team or anything like that. Like, okay, we see your thought process, guys.
We did get another great Degrassi awkward run when Manny falls off the balance beam and just runs out. I love a Degrassi awkward run.
Can we talk about Hatsalakos? Like, are you good? Did you fall? Like, what's going on? Get back up.
Yeah.
The way that Mrs. 8, like, the rent is, she's got money on this fucking meat.
She's got money on this meat. She's got her entire home.
On the, like, as collateral, yes.
On this meat.
She's like, in the beginning of the first part, she's like, because Kendra, we do see Kendra in this episode, despite the fact, like, she's here to go on top of the uneven bars barely, and then, like, pretend to get sick and run away. And that prompts Miss H to say, give us this exposition that we need, obviously, just to tell us, guys, don't breathe air. This stomach bug that's going around isn't going to get any other of my star gymnasts.
What is this transatlantic accent?
It was like, where's the money? See, like,
yes, like, I know exactly what you're doing.
So bad. I don't know. I don't know.
The cutest fucking thing. I love an early morning recording with you. Because, like, I feel like we're always a bit loopier in the morning.
Loopy, yes, I agree. Me too. Yeah, no.
And now
Mrs. H is on a team.
Peacefully as fuck.
They're just knocked the fuck out. Like, they worked once again in the coal mines. They just came home from the coal mines.
Fuck Miss Kwan when Manny needs to go vomit.
She's like, please.
The way she said, please send me. And Miss Kwan's like, Manny, coming to school sick.
She's like, please, I'm gonna barf on your shoes. Oh yeah, she's like, Manny, choosing to come to school pregnant.
Is Miss Kwan A?
Oh shit. That is a much more satisfying reveal to me than fucking Spencer's British twin. It's Kwan. I just would have loved if, like, they sat around and, like, they're like, do you want to know who A is? Do you know Miss Kwan from Degrassi? The Next Generation, a Canadian teen drama and beloved national treasure.
International treasure at this point.
International treasure, you're right. Yeah, no, it's canon. She's A. And I love that so much more because she's got all the fucking secrets. That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Her hair is not that big.
It's not that big. Because she keeps it neat and tidy. She files the secrets.
She does. She's got chopsticks back there, or a pen that she's chewing on.
Stuck in my head for like a month.
I just can't unsee Lucy Hale's fucking, like, off-center ass finger. Oh. Like, why didn't they take it again?
This is not a Pretty Little Liars podcast.
I think at this point, it's a Pretty Little Liars fucking slander podcast, because I'd be fine doing that. I'd be fine just ripping it to fucking shreds.
Not we critically, call it Shut just Up, Aria?
Yes, we can.
Oh.
But, oh my gosh. But yeah, I think what else really happens? Like, I mean, yeah, Miss Sage, Miss Kwan is a fucking asshole. Ashley, damn it.
Okay.
Damn it. Because Paige reveals to Ashley and Ellie. Well, Ellie sees what's going on with Craig and Manny. They're in the halls canoodling. He's carrying her books. Paige and Ellie exchange a knowing glance. And then Paige goes to talk to Ashley and tells her, I think it might be worse. I think Craig might have got Manny pregnant. So she gets a tip. And of course, it's confirmed when they are literally reading a book called So You Need a Name in the calf. And yeah, I mean, if Ashley had that choo sound like like queued up, she would have had
what?
choo like that horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, guys? Yeah, that's what she, because like
what you all missed was that as Avis was making that sound, she was with her hands like it looked like she was making it rain.
Yeah, I think
she was
that's
like
probably
choo
what it was.
choo choo choo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I was thinking about it, and like, do I love that Paige tells Ashley no? But I also get it.
But I actually, right, but I get it. And I think it's
your
because
friend.
The situation has become untenable.
Right.
I've got to show my cards. Because damn, like who really thought that it, like, yeah. It's fine when you're just
Ashley
fucking Craig.
So
it's different when you Ashley is irate.
And I get it. Like, it's not appropriate, but it is like
she's like incredulous. She's like drunk on like
she's so
like,
mad.
Like I knew I can't believe this shit. She and the way that like the whole tone of the show shifts after this one scene is insane, because after somebody says, because it's so difficult to use a condom in the calf, like all bets are off. Like now we have a new tone, because we've said condom. We've talked about using condoms in the general forum. No, and somehow this didn't happen when Manny and Craig had sex for the first time. It's this instance to me because there are younger kids in this. Like Degrassi now goes there as a school. Now they're like Ashley did that. Because damn, did you really have to put them on blast like that? She was so angry.
She's so angry. She's so angry, and she has every right to be so angry.
I mean, she's like, I can't believe you slept with her. Like,
yeah, no, and I mean, I get it. She's out of line. It wasn't like, but also, I don't know, like, Manny did seek out Craig knowing Craig was in a relationship.
Thank you. And I think that that's my thing with Manny, and why I'm like, Manny, you are kind of lying to Ashley in the beginning, in the first part, when you're like, Craig lied to me too. But Craig did not pursue you.
Right.
You pursued Craig.
Right.
You were there waiting for Craig to have a moment where you could make yourself available to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Craig was not wrong for the part he played in it, but no, you wanted to engage with Craig.
Right.
Like you had a desire to be in his presence. And if you didn't, you wouldn't have pursued him as hard as you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sip my tea. Because I think it's an unpopular opinion to like demonize her at all. And I think that she is still a character that I'm going to come out of our critical rewatch adoring, but she makes a lot of mistakes in judgment because she is just trying to do what she thinks is going to get her the reaction she wants. And she wants to be desired by Craig. So she puts herself out there and makes herself available so that Craig is going to choose her.
And ultimately, Craig makes the choice. And Manny is not dating Ashley. Manny is not even friends with Ashley. Like, Manny, outside of, like, standard girl code, I mean, and it's not even a violation of girl code, really, but, like, a standard human decency, like, she has no obligation to Ashley. she doesn't sexually assault Craig. Like, Craig makes that choice.
Right.
And he is ultimately to blame.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that Manny is far more to blame than if, like, she had gone to another school and just didn't know Craig had a girlfriend and, like, whatever.
Right. And
You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
like,
If there was an element of ignorance here, but she went into it with full knowledge of the situation and still made the choices that she made against
well,
girl
and I
code.
think it would be different too, even if she knew Ashley existed, but
Mm-hmm.
Craig was pursuing her.
Correct. If there was, but like because the pursuit was entirely up to her,
Right.
um, she is wrong for that, you
Yeah.
know. Uh, and I think she knows she's wrong. And I
Yeah.
think that's part of why she's like, I think she has a lot of feelings on the subject, but I definitely also think that because Craig decides that he wants to be with her again, she once again feels chosen. And that is one of the things she really wants to feel, is
Mm-hmm.
desired and valued. And I mean,
Yeah.
relatable. We all want to feel desired and valued. Um, but it's just Craig has never indicated to you that he's capable of that.
Right. Right.
Like,
A
you can
baby's not
barely
going to
have
change that. Like, literally
a
nothing
baby is
is
not going to change that. And literally your communication has been scant at best.
right.
You don't know him.
Right. And he doesn't like you.
He doesn't like you.
Um,
Which is, it's really fucking sucks. It's a hard pill to swallow because she's so heavily pursuing this man, but that's literally what it is. Like,
right.
he's just not that into you. That film, it's anachronistic. You need to watch it when it comes out, and I'm sure you did. Manny, I'm sure you did. Because I'm sure when I watched it the first time, I was just like there are multiple scenarios in this film that just like did not need to hit me that hard.
Right.
Yeah. If you guys have not seen He's Just Not That Into You, it's a great post Valentine's Day watch. It's a little bit of a palate cleanser. Yeah, but I can't I can't be sweet about the fact that she definitely makes choices here that lead to this uh emotional like turmoil that she's in,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately, like, Craig's response is the desired response, but he's doing it for like his own very
Completely
selfish
different reasons.
reasons. And yes, right, completely
Yeah.
different, completely just. And Manny does not know anything about those reasons, because I don't really think, like, they haven't talked about their home lives and things like that. Like, they don't talk, they don't have conversations. She doesn't know how he feels, vice versa.
Right.
And yeah, it's just a surface level relationship
Mm-hmm.
that is just so different from what he has with Ashley, because Ashley is actually like,
They have things in common.
yes, they've hung out without sex and intimacy of not intimacy, because I mean, I'm sure there was intimacy involved, but without being intimate, without kissing, in like, they've hung out as friends. They were
Right.
friends
There's a
before they started
foundation to
dating.
their relationship besides just fucking.
Fucking right.
And Manny and Craig don't have that. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
now all they have is, like, trauma bond.
Yes. Yes.
Um, which is a slightly more stable foundation than just fucking, but only slightly.
Only slightly. Um, exactly. I just, let me look at my notes, because I feel like I think I've exhausted everything, but this is such an iconic episode that I really do.
Right. No, and it's an important. Oh, this isn't important, but I do have a couple of notes. So first
Mm-hmm.
off, when Manny doesn't show up at school and Craig's just walking around carrying the carton of milk, looking lost. I don't have anything to say on that. I just wanted to draw
just,
attention
just,
to it.
just, just wanted it to be known. Yeah.
And then also I love when we did have more lurking Emma going on, which
Mm-hmm.
I always love. But no, Yeah, he's like, what's it like being a single mom? And Spike's like, well, it sucks, but you get sticky candy kisses.
And ornaments made out of toilet paper. Ooh.
Like,
girl, don't nobody want that shit.
Spike was like, this girl needs to have an abortion, but I can't flat out tell
but
her
I
she
can't,
needs
right?
to have an abortion.
To be like, literally, again, as someone who wants to be a mother, that sounds like the jankiest, most like
I
busted
don't want
description ever.
kisses. Like, that's
I
the
don't
least
want sticky
cute
candy.
thing about a
That's like
kid.
the last kiss that I want.
I used to
Put
have
that
this
last
friend
on my
who
list.
had like way too many kids. She had like 4 by the time she was like 24.
Okay.
And she used to send me pictures of them, and like 90% of the time, I swear to God, they were like covered in spaghetti sauce. And I'm just like, this is not cute to me. Like, no judgment, but wash your children. Or don't, but don't send me pictures of them. So, should we start with the music corner?
Yes. And actually,
you didn't listen to the song?
I am woefully underprepared. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to. Is it? Wait. What? Elvis Costello in The Attraction, right?
Yep.
Okay. Why is the first thing that popped up was Thomas and Friends?
I don't know.
I am muting it. I will be right back. Okay. I think this is way more thematic than usual. Thematically relevant than usual.
Yes, I agree.
And I mean, maybe it's because of my interpretation of hit and run is maybe a little bit different than Elvis Costello meant. But yeah, that was one of that was the hit and run. Though he says he'll wait forever, it's now or never, but she keeps him hanging on. That more reminds me of like Ashley and Craig.
Yeah, no, I think
Ashley
this one,
I
doubt they did it on purpose, but
I doubt they did it on purpose too. I don't listen to much Elvis Costello, but it's funny because Spike and Snake go to an Elvis Costello concert.
They do.
So maybe they're like, oh, that's funny because Spike is in this episode, blah, 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 and she loves Elvis Costello. Who knows? But it's a great song title.
It felt very much like it sounded like something out of Grease.
Yes. It's very like easy, breezy day, like upbeat, but they're talking about some shit that
upbeat but heavy. It sounds like
upbeat but heavy.
Like the beginning of Blue Moon. Or not Blue Moon, Hopelessly Devoted.
Hopelessly Devoted.
My heart's not the first to be broken. My eyes aren't the first to cry. That also gave me like beauty school dropout vibes.
It definitely wasn't like, I feel like I'm realizing that these titles are just so good that they're like, okay, if it happens that the song lines up in some way, that's
great, but that's not
accident. That's not what we're
going for here.
It's not that kind of potty. But no, it definitely has a lot of like it's very 50s sort of inspired, which
also fits with the liberty of it all.
Right, it fits with the liberty of it all. So that's helpful. Was this a good choice for it to be my first Elvis Costello song? Probably not, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. So I didn't have a lot of fashion this episode.
I didn't really either, because like it's more in the first episode I had like, oh, this was a good fashion moment. In the first frame almost of Ellie, Ashley, and Manny in the hallway, I do like Ellie's outfit.
Did you notice she wore it twice? Is it the
she
yellow
wore
dress?
it twice? Yeah, it's that Mitchy Matchy corset plaid
Yeah.
ensemble
It's like the
with all of the
coolest plaid,
crisscrosses. Yes,
but make it an alt corset dress.
correct. And I mean, it works for her. She's pretty confident in it when she's delivering her little bitch ass line. So it's working. I did at the detail on Ashley's shirt. I like the cut of it, but I truly don't understand why they had to put this detail. It just looks like at first I thought it was like a bag she was carrying, but she's carrying her bag on the other shoulder, so it's just the design of the fucking shirt, and I don't know what it's supposed to be. But Manny's outfit is the outfit she goes on to throw up in. Um, and it's off the shoulder, but then it's also a split shoulder on the other side, and it's like that gauzy material, that floaty material. She's got really accentuated billowy arms that have like so much extra fabric that when she goes to vomit, part of it gets in the toilet, and that's how you know there's no water in the toilet. Which is good because her sleeves would be soaked. And she's got this little newsboy, this tan newsboy cap on. The actual like design of the shirt, I don't appreciate. It's just a lot going on. It just seems to be her thing to wear busy ass. And I mean, it was kind of a thing of the time too, but busy ass shirts.
I really liked Emma's shirt in that scene too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dark blue kind of like, it's not linen, but it's that like
Yeah, because Paige is wearing a similar one, and I like Emma's better.
And it's very cute. It's simple. I also really loved Paige, her outfit with like the loose sweater and the sunglasses tucked into the V-neck.
Yes.
And I love the picture that I got of her. She's like serving fucking looks at Craig as she's walking into class, knowing that he's about to be a baby daddy.
Oh shit. Lovely. I'm looking forward to that screenshot. So my next one is literally I don't know what they're doing with her sleeves during this episode, but this little brown number, I actually got a pretty good screenshot of the actual sleeve. And it's just a scrap of fabric, just like literally someone cut off the top part of her sleeve and left the bottom. Why did we do this? And it's a really unflattering color and like blend of material, and you can just I think they put her in it because she's supposed to be less wanting to be noticed, and she's trying to lay low,
right?
And I think she's definitely supposed to be less of like the sex symbol she's kind of built herself up to be, although her style is relaxing a bit. She's definitely coming
like
to understand,
like in that scene with her and Craig, like when he talks to her before class, and then when they're in the fucking cafeteria looking at baby names, and
she just shifts into all cotton
and like like a nice long sleeve like, cotton shirt.
She's like 6 weeks pregnant, and she's
pregnancy yoga and Lamaze class, and then she's gonna come home and eat steel cut oats while she watches The Bachelor and cries.
Oh my gosh. Like that, right. They're just already turning like the momness that they put upon Manny is so real in this episode right after she finds out. Like even when she talks to Craig and he's confronting her in the end, her outfit, and well, the outfit she also goes to get her abortion in, her sweatsuit is it's covering everything. She's not even like, it's all kind of hanging off of her too. Like she didn't even button or zip up and put it on her shoulders correctly. It's askew because she doesn't care. And she's just so covered, and it's as baggy as they will let her wear something baggy. Like it's definitely supposed to be like she is just not feeling it. Right. And she's also in her mom era, I guess. So we have to, I'm just and like, can we talk about Craig's shirt too?
Yes.
In that same screenshot, because it looks so small for him. I can see his belt. And his shirt is like right above his belt. Like if he puts his arms up, he's showing belly. And it's like looks like a like little league, like baseball tee inspired sort of vibe. But the sleeves are really awkward. They're 3/4. They come right above his elbow. And
Mm-hmm.
it looks like this is a shirt he's probably had since he was like 10 years old. And he should probably stop wearing it because he's had several growth spurts since
Well, he
then.
can't buy new clothes now. He's got a baby on the way.
Damn it. He and that baby are going to be wearing the same size clothes. That shirt is young.
I, of course, had to take a picture of Liberty's 50s inspired look.
Yes.
And I'm noticing, like, I don't think it's super noteworthy, but JT's fashion has gotten better.
Mm-hmm. He's hanging out with the cool kids, going to DJ Mad Bullets concerts. He's got to step his cookies up.
You mean
shut
DJ
up.
Crazy Guns?
I mean DJ Bad Bullets, obviously.
DJ Crazy Guns.
Crazy Guns. Ride Crazy Horse, Crazy Guns. I'm so fucking done with Toby for that. Oh gosh.
I was done with Toby at peace. Viewers, listeners, in case you are only listeners and you didn't view it, he puts his like fist up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
The Black Power symbol. Don't do that.
It's no.
Don't do that.
Not for that situation.
No, at least. Not for that situation at least. Yeah.
Hacking into Radich's user account to change Jimmy's grade is not a Black Power moment.
No, it's not. Yeah, I have no time.
Do you have any more fashion?
I don't think so. Oh wait, I did want to mention Paige's little gauzy number when she's talking to Manny in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks a similar vibe to, I mean, it's kind of like the outfit or the shirt that Manny was wearing the previous day in the vein of like the sleeves are billowy. But it's tighter on her. Paige loves midriff, so she's got her midriff showing. It's like this peachy, like tan mix color. And it's got she's got it tied up at the top, so it had those strings that could have just been hanging there, but she chose to tie them. And it's a good look on her. She's serving. But yeah, I think that's my last one.
I have a screenshot. I didn't know where else to put it. Mm-hmm. And I almost our rule is if it's something that could be changed, like haircuts are fair game. The background's accurate behind Miss Hatzalakos, but it's so bad. She's got a Karen cut.
Yes. She has that cut that Kate, John and Kate +8.
Uh-huh.
The Kate from that haircut.
You know how I'm really good at naming things and like coming up with concepts for things?
Mm-hmm.
So the second that John and Kate +8 came out, I was like, I can't wait for the sequel series, John and Kate divided by 8. I came up with a really good name for like a punk band of middle-aged women last week. Mm-hmm. Weaponized Incontinence.
Oh shit. That's beautiful.
Right? Can you imagine like a bunch of women in like their 50s with their like little streaks of blue hair?
That'd be so cute.
I would be a fan.
Could manage that. Putting it out there, taking.
So I feel like Paige has not said hun a lot this season, and they really made up for that in this episode.
They did.
I counted 5, and I think I may have even missed some. I'm gonna have to go back through, and apologies, listeners, if I did. But she says to Manny in the hallway, "Don't worry, hon, it'll blow over," about what's going on. And then she says, "Oh, sure, hon, there you go." And I didn't note the context on that, listeners, and I'm sorry, but I don't remember the context. It's been a weird weekend.
Oh, it was toilet paper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Paige
thank
was
you.
passing Manny toilet paper under the stall.
And then Manny asks, like, how do you know if you wore a condom? And she says, well, were you there, hun? She says most of her huns to Manny this episode.
Yes.
Because then after that, she says, and hun, remember, next time, ask questions first, get naked later. And then our last one is to Terry. It's after they talked shit on Manny in the bathroom. She says, or maybe it's before, but she goes, that's a really cute color on you, hun. What is it? Watermelon? So we've got 5 huns.
We have got 5 beautiful huns. They're all so good.
Our girl is back.
She's back and she's better than ever. Yeah. From
there,
I think, from there, let's go fire some shots.
Yep.
Pew, 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 pew. Shots fired.
My first one comes right off the top.
Yes, mine too.
I think we just go back and forth on this episode. When Craig's taking the pictures and he tells Manny to smile, and she's like, looking at you doesn't really make me want to smile.
The next one is obviously right after that when Ash says, hey, Ellie, do you smell something? And Ellie says, I think it's the particular stench of a boyfriend thief.
Peculiar stench.
Oh, I said particular, but I wrote peculiar. I did write peculiar. Yeah.
I had Manny saying to Emma, who died and made you my mother.
Oh, mine is a little bit. Okay, so my next one comes before that. Paige telling Manny, sweetie, you're looking a little pale. It's not good.
My next one is Jimmy to Toby, so I may be a bit ahead of yours.
Yes.
But when he says, you're such a fake man, you're a fake computer hacker, you're a fake rap fan, you're just 100%
You're just 100% fake. Yeah, you definitely jumped ahead of me.
That's fine. Why don't you kind of catch us up and we'll meet back up in the second episode.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I have JT saying, in response to Toby saying, why aren't me and Jimmy friends anymore? JT saying, that was before your hot step sizzle dumped his ass izzle. And I have to fire a shot at Manny for spooning that community school toilet like that. Because she is hugging it tight. And next I have Manny saying to Emma, okay, who died and made you my mother? And then Manny's saying, you're right, it is none of your business. And I think we have lined up with the next iconic line after that. That's the I think there's like 2 iconic like shots fired in this episode, and you did one of them. So the next one is Sean saying, Liberty, you're about as edgy as a butter knife.
Which is iconic, but before that, I have when they get assigned to be partners, this is a 2-parter.
Yes.
Sean goes, great.
I missed that one.
Brown-nosing, whip-cracking, loser freak Van Zant. And her response is, great. Hell's Angel in training, slacker backslide Cameron.
Yes. Thank you for that, because I definitely missed that one. But on my second rewatch, I missed
another shot fired that I have is anyone named Maud will pick their nose and eat glue.
Yes.
Maud Apatow, can you confirm?
I was going to say Maud Apatow was getting some, got a shot fired and she was just minding her business. My next one is Ash saying, right after that, airing them out and saying, these 2 idiots are pregnant. That's right, because it's way too difficult to use a condom.
Yes. God, Ashley is so mad. She is in her villain era. And I have JT saying to Liberty, you know what, like, Liberty, this 3-year crush you have on me, it's getting a little boring.
Damn, that was mean. I have Paige telling Terry, Tear, you should be fixed for even thinking that. I like Manny, but this is the most loserish move ever. She's gonna be somebody's mother. She's ruining her life and probably her figure.
Paige is no fox.
Paige, you are so rude.
But facts. And like,
but facts.
I don't believe that, she might soften it a little bit, but she would say that to Manny.
Yeah.
I
think she would definitely. Yeah. No, she's not scared to say any of that to Manny, because where's the lie? She says, and probably her figure. Like, she's not saying you, like, it's most likely, But yeah, do you have any more?
I don't.
Okay, I have 3 more.
Okay, hit me.
I have Emma saying, well, why don't you take care of that piece of cake, Dad? to Craig when they're taking care of Jack. And then right after that, when Emma's on the listening to them on the baby monitor, and she's outside with Chris, she says, he's like, what's that? And she's like, parents in training. And he's like, parents in basic training. And then the last one I have is Spinner to Craig saying, can I ask you a question, dude? Then he thumps him in the head and he's like, are you on crack? And that is it for me. This is a good one for Shots Fired.
This is a good one for Shots Fired. Okay, so I think we've got a lot of shining stars.
We do. We've definitely got Spike.
And
I think
Paige.
Spike and Paige, and we're doing the Lord's work out here because Manny needed to get some kind of fucking education and empathy from somewhere, and it wasn't Emma. So
I would
Spike and Paige.
To Julieta Santos too.
Oh yeah,
is it Julieta
she showed
up. Julieta, do you think? Because as soon as I said Julieta, I realized that
that's Juliet. Yes, Julieta. Yeah, I think that's right.
However she pronounces it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that she really does embrace the situation as best as could be expected, and she does right by her daughter, and ultimately Manny is able to like continue forward without as many emotional issues related to this.
Right.
Because I would say it's still traumatic because Emma's bitch ass, but yeah.
Okay. I would say else? Honestly, I think that Manny shines.
I think that she shines. The only thing I didn't like was that I brought up that she kind of wasn't being truthful to Ashley. But ultimately, I do think that she carries herself well, and she articulates herself as best as can be expected in the situation. And she does advocate for herself. She doesn't feel like she doesn't allow herself to be kind of bamboozled by Craig, and rather bulldozed by Craig and how she feels and what she wants to do with her body. Mm-hmm. And for that, advocating for yourself is always, a shining star moment for me, because it's so hard to advocate for yourself sometimes. So that's 4. We've got 4 shining stars.
Does anybody shine in the B plots, really? No.
Jimmy sucks.
Well, yeah,
Toby
I was going to ask, does anybody bum you out?
Everybody. Well, obviously, Emma really bums me out. I just think that she was on the way to being a shining star in the first episode, but she really does fucking shit the bed.
And it really does for me. It really, for me, it hits down to if she were some stranger, I would be furious with her.
That's what took her off the table for me, because that qualifier is just so harmful. And it's gross, and I'm like,
and it's weird, and like, stand in your convictions.
Doesn't make any sense.
If it's wrong, why is it not wrong? Because it's your friend with a fetus that would have grown into a baby that you wouldn't know.
Exactly. Logic is not. Emma refuses to logic. But yeah, Emma refuses to reason. Whatever. Craig is a bummer.
I feel for Craig, but Craig's a bummer.
Ashley's a bummer. I feel for Ash, but she's a bummer.
Yeah.
Ellie's a bummer for that one comment. Because you didn't have to do that. Even though Sean does redeem himself, he is a bummer because he didn't need to.
Sean's a bummer. Liberty's a bummer.
He humiliates her in person and then, or in public, and then apologizes in private. And yeah, he's a bummer for that. Liberty is definitely a bummer though. She played her role. Yeah, we already said Toby, JT, Quan. They all piss me off. They all bum me out.
I don't know. Quan said fuck them kids, and I get it.
Well, yeah, I guess she's being consistent, isn't she?
Yeah.
I guess I can't really expect anything different from her.
That's fine. These kids. It's fine.
She hates these kids and she doesn't care. Who knows it? But yeah, I think that's like it for me. I mean, Radish was involved in here. He was in here. I don't really think he did much for me to be like, was fine. No, you're a bummer. He was fine. There. He was just there.
He was doing he was reprimanding students who broke into the school computer to change grades. Like,
right.
Fuck Toby extra for being a snitch.
No, actually, Toby was just like, yeah, I had to dime you out, obviously. Like, I couldn't go down for this by myself. You were the reason why I did this.
Even with it being Jimmy's grade, you could have been like, I had overheard Jimmy saying that he was, going to fail math and it was going to be bad for him and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I want Jimmy to like me. So I thought that I'd break in and change his grade and then be able to be like, hey, man. And then maybe he'd be my friend. But no, you ratted him out.
And you're expecting him to like not.
Toby doesn't have whatever it takes.
No, he doesn't. Not right now. But yeah, I don't think that's a good. I don't have anybody else to add to either list. So
yeah, I guess.
Does it go there?
We have to ask, did it go there? And I mean, yeah.
Right. I mean, we're talking teen pregnancy. And,
we were talking teen pregnancy.
And potential teen smoking. 5-finger discount on a pack of smokes.
Mm-hmm. Even the B plot goes there. Like cyber attacking your school.
Right.
To change a person's grade is also kind of damn. The B plots usually don't have as many like stakes.
Yeah.
Even this season, the B plots have been kind of like but this B plot with Toby and Jimmy actually amounts to something, and I think for that it certainly goes there. But for many other reasons also.
I would concur. It goes there. Thank you for listening to Your Mom's Podcast. Next week we're going to be talking about Tape on Me, the polarizing Breakfast Club episode.
I can't wait.
This episode of Your Mom's Podcast is sponsored by Planned Parenthood, DJ Crazy Guns, and support from listeners like you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Podcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Padcast. PAHDCAST. Thank you.
We would like to say a thank you to our Patreon subscribers.
Octavia Faith,
Margot Mancini, June Bard,
and A-Butts.
And a very special thank you to our Titty Snake producer, Alyka Fenderson.
Thank you so much for supporting the show, guys.
Thank you. Ew, I hate how I said thank you. Thank you.